So, okay, let me take you back a week here. Last Sunday night at about 12:40, I get a phone call. You know when you get those phone calls at 12:40 at night, it's not a good thing. Well, a tropical storm had actually just zipped through, and the phones were ringing off the hook. So I come right in. This is a case where having this tool helps incredibly. So I get in, I get on my computer, go to mPower Integrator, and look at the map. No matter what police dispatch had been doing by the phones, they get a limited amount of information. And I can look at this map and I can look at the stars, and based on the stars, I see, okay, we've got problems all over the place. And a bunch of them are unrelated. So what I can do when I come in and I look at stars laid out like this, well, immediately, at this point at least, the foreman knew it was bad, so the entire staff had already been called in. So most of the staff was here within 10, 15 minutes of me coming in. But I can do a quick triage. I can look at this map and I can say, we have one major issue on this circuit. Now, my meter reading system, sometimes the capacitors, depending on the day, you don't get all of the meter reads, don't have enough battery power to get the report outage. So you don't know for sure, like, okay, this area, is it out of power or isn't it? That's a question in my head. But based on the way the stars are laid out, I have at least 2 phases out going this way. I have all 3 phases out in this corner. I have a pretty big packet here. I have a pretty big packet here. I can see, okay, I have 1 transformer out here, 1 house here, so probably just a tree took a service off. 1 house here, probably a tree took a service off. I can see what the problems are, and we can do triage pretty quickly. And so I can send 1 crew to this packet, 1 crew to this packet, and just because of the nature of the beast, I'm going to ignore these, and I'm going to ignore these, and I'm going to ignore these. Now, Sunday night, 20% of our county was out of power because we have the information and we have a staff that bust their butt, and they were all here by 1 a.m. We were able to look at the size of the outages, where the problems were, and assign the crews accordingly. By 5 o'clock in the morning, we were down to, well, these 3 had still been ignored, but the crews got these 2 big outages dealt with right away, and then these 2 medium outages were just kind of getting finished up at 5 in the morning. So by sunrise, we were working on an individual transformer and individual houses. And we were able to do that and do the triage effectively because we had this data. Without having the data, it's hard to make the decisions. Like if one of these houses or one of these houses had been the first to call police dispatch, and you send your lineman here first, it actually turns out this area up here had one of the hardest outages. It actually took one crew 4 hours to get this packet at the end put back together. And this star right here took 1 crew 4 hours to deal with. So if you get your crews tied up in the wrong places, everybody else suffers while the work's being done. So at least this way I can delegate the crews to the worst areas first, and then as we get information, the severity of the outage, the amount of work involved, then we can reassign people as needed. So this data from 8 days ago now was incredibly helpful in getting our customers, by sunrise we had fewer than 1% of our customers out, while the entire county of investor-owned utilities had 20% of their customers out. And it happened to be a night of town meeting, and so we were done by the middle of the afternoon, even with all of the destroyed services and stuff. When we went to town meeting, we have a joint school district with another town. 40% of the other town was out of power 7 o'clock the next night, whereas we were 1% out of power 7 o'clock that morning, just by having the information and using it effectively.